Well, hello, Divi Nation. Welcome to a brand new Divi use case live stream where each week we show you how to add new design and functionality to your Divi websites. And in this tutorial today, I'm going to be showing you how you can embed Divi galleries into Divi toggles to create a custom restaurant menu. And I'll even show you some tips on how you can optimize your toggles for mobile as well. Don't forget to check the video description for a link to the blog post that goes along with this use case tutorial. So without wasting any time, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. All right, so welcome everyone. Please be sure to say hello. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay and the feed's coming in all right. The stream that is, and we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome. Good morning. Those of you who are in other parts of the world. Hola. All right. So let's see. Looking like everything is good on my end. Don't forget, you are welcome to post any questions in the chat, and hopefully I'll get to those as soon as I can as we go through this tutorial today. Looks like I'm having a bit of an issue on Facebook, my live stream there. So let me just take a moment to look at that really quickly. All right. I apologize. Just going to try this again one more time. Let's see. All right, if that doesn't work, I'm just going to keep going, guys. Sorry about that. Uncle Social, hello from the UK, from the Czech Republic. Hello, Prague. My brother just came from Prague. Wonderful place. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Thanks, Tony, for letting me know you can hear me just fine. So let's dive in. All right, so just as those of you just joining us, I just want to welcome you to this week's Divi use case live stream. And today what I'm going to be doing is showing you a simple way that you can actually embed Divi galleries, like an image gallery, into Divi toggles to create a layout for your restaurant menus. Of course, this would have more uses other than just a toggle. You can actually embed Divi galleries into any module. And this is kind of the idea. This is the final result we're looking for here. If you're familiar with the toggle module, using it in Divi, you'll notice here that this is a slightly larger icon over here on the right, the toggle icon here. And when I open it, you'll see that it displays my menu item content, and a price. And then these images down here are actually styled like a Divi gallery. And it will open up in Lightbox, just like it would in a normal Divi gallery module. And so this is a kind of a cool way you can lay out your restaurant menus. I know a lot of times you have menus that you want to feature maybe 1 or 2 or even 3 images of a specific entree, appetizer, whatever your dish is. And maybe you want to keep things nice and clean on the by default so users can find it. And then when they want to, they can read more about that menu item. This is also a great option for mobile devices. And as you can see, I'm just going to scroll. I'm going to shrink my browser here just to give you an idea of what this does on mobile. And it will, span the full width of that row in there. And it will retain the 3-column layout of the Divi Gallery. And so with the Lightbox functionality, of course, even on mobile, that will be very helpful as well when you have images that shrink to a smaller size. So that's where we're going. We should learn a few things along the way, hopefully. And the first step, what we're going to do to get things started, is actually we're going to update some things in the theme side, some theme options and settings to help us style our defaults a little bit. So first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you the kind of the, maybe it's a secret tip that you have forgotten about, but this has been in Divi for a while. I'm going to go to my, let's go to my dashboard here, and then go over to Divi theme options. And here you'll have an option called Enable Divi Gallery. And I think you can see that all right. And this, it's going to be disabled by default. You want to go ahead and enable it. And if you read your little tool tip or help icon, it basically says, enable this if you want to replace the WordPress default gallery with the Divi style gallery. So this basically, if you are familiar with WordPress galleries, there's a way for you to embed or create a gallery in your WordPress media library, actually, and then deploy it to your page, and it comes out as a shortcode. And I'll show you how that works, but that shortcode actually will inherit a Divi style gallery, even though you're using the WordPress gallery. So that's the basis behind that option. And that will, of course, allow us to, since it is a shortcode, put that into any module we want. And in this case, we're going to put it into a toggle module. And that's where we're going to get that functionality. There's some limitations, obviously, because we're not working with a full-scale Divi Gallery module when we embed that. And we'll discuss those along the way as well. So once you have that theme option enabled, let's go ahead and save the changes. And the next thing we're going to want to do is go to our theme customizer. And here, the Divi Gallery, along with a number of different elements on your theme, will inherit your theme accent color. That would be, one of those is this icon here, which is, I've already changed my accent color in my theme options to reflect this kind of, dark brown color here. But to do that, you'll go to your Divi theme options and then navigate to General Settings, Layout Settings, and then update your theme accent color. Of course, this is optional, and if you want to go ahead and target the color of your icon without doing it in theme options, you'll have to do it in custom CSS, unfortunately, but there's a short snippet that could take care of that for you. All right, so once you have that theme accent color, that will allow you to color that icon. And in many cases, you already have that theme accent color in place on a theme already, so you won't even have to worry about it. It's just going to show up with that color whenever you embed the Divi Gallery. All right, so after that's done, you'll want to save your changes. And by the way, just a useful tip here, if you ever update your theme accent color, and you're wanting to continue, setting up your customizer settings, it's always a good idea to publish it and then refresh this page, because what that'll do is update that accent color or that accent color will be put in different places in your settings automatically. So you won't have to go through each one of them and add that theme accent color. Just a little helpful tip. I hope that made sense. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to update our default toggle icon size. So not only do we have a theme customizer settings, we also have what is called a module customizer in Divi. And I'm going to go ahead and exit out of there. And to get to the module customizer, you will go to Divi, and then there it is. Actually, it's directly under theme customizer there. Go to the module customizer. This allows you to, customize the defaults for all of your modules, so that whenever you add a new module to your page, it will inherit these default settings, right off the bat. So what we're going to do is check out this gallery, because Divi is going to be pulling from the the gallery module, or the style of the gallery with these embeds. So we can, do a few things. One is this title, where is it? Oh, yeah, this is the gallery module. Yes. So the gallery module, you can change like the hover overlay color if you want here. The zoom icon color, you're probably thinking, well, why can't I change it here? I did find some issues here. Maybe that's something we need to fix down the road, but you're better off just allowing the theme to populate the theme accent color to populate that color for you, or use a little snippet of custom CSS if you need. But for some reason that doesn't always work, so just be forewarned there. But all this other settings will help you set some defaults there to target those embed galleries that will be styled like a Divi gallery. Aside from the Divi gallery options in the module customizer, there's also the toggle module, which I wanted to share with you. So in the toggle module, in the customizer there, you can set the default toggle icon size, and you can see I've set it to 32. I can't remember what the default is. I think it's like 16 pixels. But if you want to make things like more mobile friendly, like a larger icon maybe seems more clickable and just may look better visually. So you can change that icon font size, or it is a font size, but icon size for your toggles. And this corresponds to this icon here, right at the right side of your toggle. You can see this has been increased to 32 already. After that, we're ready to actually start creating our page and designing our menu. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to exit out of my customizer here, and I'm just going to go create a new page. Go to Pages, Add New, and I already have one here. That's actually a post. Never mind. All right, let's go to Pages, Add New. Just call it, restaurant menu. And then I'm going to click to use the Divi Builder. And I am going to use a pre-made layout. I'm going to go with the bakery layout pack. I don't know if you've seen that layout pack recently. It was released last week, I believe. And to do that, I'm just going to click choose a pre-made layout. And under this load from library pop-up in the pre-made layouts tab, all I need to do is scroll and find my bakery layout pack and select it, and then select the menu page. So this bakery menu page layout, and then I'm going to click use this layout. Of course, you can always just choose to build it from scratch. This just kind of gives us a working model that's already designed, a head start, so we can concentrate on the functionality of what we're doing here. All right, so I'm going to publish this page now that my layout has been loaded. And actually, I'm just going to click to build on the front end. This will load what basically is the visual builder. So, all right, so I'm going to first step is I'm going to add my toggle module. And, I can use this content here if I want. I don't have to delete any of this yet because it might be helpful to use later on for style purposes. Maybe I want to copy some styles over. So whenever you're adding new items or customizing a layout, you may want to, keep some of these elements in place just in case you want to copy some of those designs. All right, so I'm going to add a toggle module right directly underneath that subheading called Sweet Tooth there. All right, and what I'll do next is update this content. And let me make sure that you can see it since it's all the way over here on the right. Yep, you can. So let's see, I'm gonna add an H5 header tag here. And I'm just going to put a price and, I'll just put $8. And I just wrap it in that H5 tag. I'm actually cheating a little bit and getting a head start because actually this title up here is also using an H5. But just, of course, you can change it up however you like. It's just for stylistic purposes for this example. But let me go ahead and open it up so you can see. So there's my price right here. And let's go ahead and update the design elements just to get us up to speed here to kind of match the layout. I do want to update the icon color to match the theme, this brown here, this cookie brown, I'm assuming, or bread, since it's a bakery layout pack. Don't know what the official name is. All right, so there we go, icon color. So this will take care of my icon. I'm gonna paste that color in there. As you can see, it's inherited my icon size of 32 pixels, which is nice. And the open toggle, let's go ahead and, these are my toggle options, which allow me to, control the colors of these elements when the toggle's open or when it's closed for a different experience to make it stand out. I'm actually going to choose my open toggle text color to be a dark gray. And my my closed toggle text color to be the same, just like that dark gray there. Almost black. And then for the closed toggle background, I do want it to be a white color. So I'm just going to select the white there. Just go ahead and make sure that that is looking correct. There you go. So after that, I'm just going to update my title font. Just go to let me pull this out so it's not being hidden. There we go. Title text, and just going to give my title font this Patua 1, this bold, make it bold here. You can see it changing over here on the left. Make it uppercase. And let's give it a little spacing. So letter spacing is 1 pixel. And so here actually, this is actually a little trick to kind of, so right now if I hover over my toggle, it's really only clickable on the header, the actual header, kind of where this blue is being highlighted here, roughly. So if you want to, increase the clickable space or whatever, a good idea is to just kind of take away the padding around the header and increase the line height of the header. So that makes that clickable space a bit larger, which it's kind of like a tip for mobile. So, whenever you're, I think it's always a good idea to have somewhat of, like, if it's an icon, if somewhere around 40 pixels or something, so it's easily clickable. And this kind of goes along with that idea of making a more clickable space, not only when you hover over it in desktop, but also when you click on it in mobile. So I'm just going to set the line height to something like 4 EM. And I'm going to take away the padding so it won't be so large, but this would have just be forewarned. Line height, if this would to ever, I mean, you need to keep your menu items short, because if this was a really long title, it would have a big, large space on the second line. So not a perfect solution if you're going to have longer text, but it is a nice, simple trick to create more space if you're only going to have one line there of short amount of heading. And then after that, I'm going to get some custom padding, and this is, I'm going to take out my top padding, just set it to 0. That's looking good. You can see how my padding, my header now has more clickable space. And let's take out the bottom padding as well. And so there you go. After that, let's go ahead and add a border. It already has a border, this thin kind of light gray border, which, you know, I like it, adds a little framing. I'm just going to keep it, but I'm going to add a left border with the same color as my icon and the rest of my accent color there. And I'm going to increase it to 5 pixels. And I'm going to save that out. I'm going to save my page, and then I'm going to exit the Visual Builder, open it up in a new page just to see what our result looks like so far. So as you can see, right when I get to the edge, now I can see I got a nice large clickable space. If I click on my icon, you can see like that border extends on the left side, which is nice. I like that effect. So just an idea. But everything looks good. Last thing, or the next thing, not the last thing we're going to do is add the gallery to this module. And so I'm going to go back into this module. And before I do that, I'm going to jump in and answer some questions. Let's see. Looks like we have some people helping each other in the chat, which is awesome. Hi, Monique. Welcome. Thank you, Uncle Social, for helping out join the progress on his issue. Awesome that you have a new site, and I'm excited for you. Hopefully, we can get you the help you need. How to get the old builder back, I think that's your issue. And okay, so if I have time later, I'll get back to that. If not, always reach out to support if we can't help you here in the chat. All right. Join the progress. I do want to point out something. Every week on our blog, we release a new layout. So every one of those pre-made layouts that are released for you to check out, there's a video that shows you how you can add those pre-made layouts to your page, and that walks you through how to create a new page and things like that. So maybe that's helpful. Also, our documentation is helpful, but with the recent update of Divi, with the WordPress 5.0 and the new Divi experience, just a quick tip for all of you. If you have a new installation and, well, yeah, let's just to show you, If you want the full Divi experience, you'll need to go to Divi Theme Options and then go to the Builder tab, go to Advanced, and make sure that you have both of these enabled. This one here, enable the latest Divi Builder experience and enable the classic editor. That'll get you kind of the full experience. And once that's done, then you can toggle back and forth to the classic editor and the new editor on the back end. Hopefully that was helpful. Oh, so you've been using Divi for a long time. Yes, you can use the old format. Let me just let's do a quick. Let me circle back to that, and hopefully I can circle back just so I can stay focused on what we're doing here. But it is a good question, and I'm sure you're not alone in that. So I do want to address that question. So just as a refresher, if you're just joining us, this is our weekly Divi use case live stream. And every week we kind of show you useful ways to design and add functionality to your Divi websites. Today, I'm showing you how you can create a custom restaurant menu by embedding some Divi galleries into toggles, and which is a great way to lay out your menu. And I'll also show you how to, we've been covering how to optimize your toggles for mobile a little bit, some tips there. And so right now we're about to add our Divi gallery to a toggle module. And as I mentioned before, you can add a toggle Divi gallery to any module within Divi using this method. All right, so I will open up. I have my toggle settings open, and I'm going to open this one so we can see. And so what I need to do is click this Add Media button here. So I'm going to add media, and then I'm just going to click this button, Create Gallery. Now, if you've imported this pre-made layout, you'll have all of these images in your media gallery already imported for you, which is nice for this example, so we can have some images to work with. So you want to set Create Gallery, and this will allow you to select multiple images. And I'll just select these 3 images here. You can select one or however many you would like, and then click this. Let me make sure you can see. And then you're going to click this Create Menu, create a new gallery, button. All right, and then once that's done, you have this option to add captions. Divi will display your captions on the Lightbox view, but for the most part, this is kind of not applicable, if I could say. This is actually, all these gallery settings are for if you were using the default WordPress gallery style. So really not, from my experience anyway, none of this will override the Divi style that's just going to be set. So just ignore this basically, and then click Insert Gallery. All right. Now, by default, Divi will, or the default Divi style that's kind of set for you is a 3-column layout that will stay there throughout all browser sizes. So, but there it is. There's your short code, and that short code is deploying the Divi style gallery with Lightbox functionality within a toggle module. So I'm going to save it out. And of course, you might want to, further customize it, but let me see what our next step is, or what I want to show you next. I do want to make sure that my toggles are have more room on mobile. So one thing I'll need to do is go to my row settings, and then I'm going to go to my spacing, And you can see that the pre-made layout has this 80 pixel right and left padding here, but that's going to be too much on phone. So I'm just going to take that off of phone. You can see see how it's squished up. I'm just going to set my phone left and right padding to 0. That gives me a lot more room for my toggles on mobile. All right, so once that's done, all you'll need to do is duplicate this as needed. Duplicate the toggles multiple times, and then update the content, add new galleries, however you want, things like that. And then after that, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the idea. We're pretty much done. I do want to kind of point out a way that you can kind of change the number of columns that are being displayed, because maybe you want just 1 column or 2 columns. It's probably a good idea to keep it between 1 and 3 columns, because on mobile or whatever, you don't want it to get too small. But like I said, with the Lightbox functionality, the user will be able to get a full size view. But to change it, the basic, if you're not familiar with CSS or anything like that, the basic idea is you'll want to give your toggle a custom class. It's always a good idea to give your toggle a custom class. That way, whenever you add some custom CSS to it, it will only target that specific toggle, as opposed to all toggles throughout your whole theme whenever you add them. So I'm just going to make this a 2 column. So I'm going to go 2 column gallery. That's my class. You name it whatever you want. But so with that CSS class in place, I'm going to open up my page settings. Let me get a full width view here. My page settings down here, my page settings menu, the gear icon. I can also deploy it using the letter O on the keyboard, shortcut key there. And then I'm going to go to advanced. So advanced and then custom CSS. This will allow me to add custom CSS to this page and this page only. This will not be applied theme wide. If you wanted to add custom CSS to your entire theme, you would put it in your theme customizer, additional CSS, or add it to your child theme. So, but for this case, I'm just going to add it to the page so you can get an idea how this would work. Oh, it looks like I gave my wrong class. So I'm going to wrong class name. And I see that I have to update the blog post too. There's a mistake and the class doesn't match the code. That is my fault. I'll get that fixed. But all right, so it's actually not the number 2. It's probably a better idea to use the word 2. 2 column gallery there. Then I'm going to go to my page settings, advanced tab, custom CSS. I'm going to paste in this code here. And this code is found in the blog post that I've linked to. And this is not a lot of code. All this is doing is basically saying every one of these gallery items has a width of 50%, which if you do the math, 50 plus 50 is 100. So that's 2 columns. And that's a 2 column layout. And then I added some padding. If you add padding to the item, it can create spacing. So I've just added 2% padding there. This is important to set the margin to 0, because if you start adding margins here, things will get broken. So, and then the clear just kind of clears it, keeps it from, floating and things like that. All right. So with that simple change there, I can have 2 columns. If I wanted like a 3 column, I'll just change my width to 33.33 or whatever. Oh, it looks like there we go. 33.33. That's back to my 3 column, which we already had. If I wanted 1 column, I'll just put 100%. And of course, you'll need an image that is at least that large because it won't look right. But if you wanted a, you know, any column structure, there's actually a good post about that I wrote recently about changing the number of columns for your gallery module, which will help shed some light as well. All right, so I'm gonna put it back to 50. There's my 2 column layout. Save my changes. And let's just go ahead and see what that looks like on the live site. There you go. So there's my 2 column layout. And let's see how it looks on mobile. There, it'll scale nicely on mobile. All right. All right, that about does it, guys. Let me jump in and see if we have any more questions. And then maybe I can briefly touch on the new Divi Builder experience. All right. Starting with the latest comment, thanks, Monique, for thinking this is awesome. Hopefully this kind of helps you. I know for the most part you'll use the Divi Gallery module for your galleries, but sometimes you'll need to embed it somewhere, and this is a simple way to do that without a plugin or anything like that. So, all right, let me make sure. It looks like everybody's good to go as far as this functionality. Let's address maybe the comment here that Join the Progress has on. I think the issue here is needing the ability to disable the latest Divi experience to get it back to where I needed it. Is there a disadvantage to using this older platform? I tell you what, you may have done this already, but just if we go to our Elegant Themes blog here and search for the latest, or the new Divi experience, I would do that, and then there's a good blog post that kind of gives you a rundown of this new Divi Builder experience, what works, what doesn't. There's a few helpful blog posts here that may help you, so please check that out. All right, thanks again, guys. I'm going to go ahead and close things out. All right, so okay, that's it for this week. This week's Divi use case live stream. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. We sure do hope that you enjoyed it, and hopefully you learned something. Please be sure to subscribe to our blog newsletter, our YouTube channel, and like us on Facebook. That way you don't miss out on any future freebies or use cases we're going to be having every week. And actually, our next live stream will be on this Friday, the weekly WP Roundup with BJ Keaton. So you'll want to check that out. And we'll be back here next Tuesday with another live stream. So be looking forward to that as well. And thanks again. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, guys.